All right, future engineers, welcome back to STEAM Universe Academy. You know the drill. This is where science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics collide to solve actual, real-world problems. I'm Professor L, and right now we are activating a massive phase of your Platinum Stars Engineering Challenge. That's right, Mission 005 is officially active. Now, this explainer, it's literally your ultimate guide to mastering the real budget section of your Grade 8 Technology PAT. Look, this isn't just some boring school assignment, no way. This is your chance to think, calculate, and solve problems exactly like a pro engineer out in the field.
So let's kick things off by figuring out what a tender actually is. In our scenario, your engineering company is pitching a tender to Platinum Stars to build their shaft headgear. And a tender? Well, it's just a formal offer to do a specific job for a specific price. You're basically estimating every single cost to build your unique solution. You're telling Platinum Stars, hey, here's our brilliant design to get that platinum from 500 meters underground, and here is exactly what it's going to cost to build it.
Okay, to keep our brains from melting, here is our flight plan for today. We're breaking this down into 1. Steel for the head frame, 2. Lift components, 3. Labor costs, 4. Final totals, and finally, 5. A mission debrief to make sure you lock in all those marks.
All right, let's jump straight into Category 1, steel for the head frame. Now, when you're budgeting for your steel structure, keep in mind that your head frame has to be incredibly strong. We're talking serious rigidity, using triangulation to support that sheave wheel and handle the massive tension from the winch. But listen up, because here is the absolute golden rule for this section. You have to use the unique measurements from your own 2D working drawing. Seriously, don't just make up numbers. And whatever you do, do not copy an example. Your quantities are 100% based on your own specific design.
So the key here is to take your specific lengths and multiply them by the exact prices given in your PAT memo. Steel columns, those are R500 per meter. And the steel for your cross braces, that's R20 per meter. So you'll need to figure out the total length of the steel columns for your head frame's legs and multiply that by R500. Then do the same for the cross braces. Find the total length of steel needed there and multiply it by R20.
Okay, STEAM cadets, this is an interactive mission, so it's time to initiate a pause mission. I want you to pause this explainer right now. Grab your own head frame drawing, calculate your total steel column length, and work out that cost. Once you've nailed that, do the exact same thing for your cross braces. Add those two numbers up and boom, you've just calculated your very first subtotal, the steel frame subtotal. Go ahead, pause and do that now.
Awesome work, cadets. Let's fire up Category 2, lift components.
So, your mine headgear isn't just there to look cool, right? It has a massive, critical job. It has to safely drop miners 500 meters underground and then haul 10 tons, yes, 10 tons of heavy platinum ore all the way back up. And to pull that off, you're going to need some very specific heavy machinery.
You've got to use these exact set-in-stone PAT prices for your machinery. The sheave wheels, a flat R$150,000. The winch and motor will run you $1.2 million. And the cage and skip set comes in at R$350,000. But hey, pay close attention to the cable. That one is priced at R$100 per meter. You absolutely cannot guess this number. The length of cable you need depends entirely on that 500-meter shaft depth we just talked about, plus whatever extra length you need to actually reach the winch drum over your unique head frame.
All right, time for another pause mission. Hit pause on the explainer again. Take a look at your design and that required shaft depth and calculate your total cable cost. Once you've got that number, add it to the cost of the sheave wheels, the winch and motor, and the cage and skip. Add all four together, and that sum, that is your lift component subtotal. Get to it.
Machinery is sorted. Now let's move on to Category 3, labor costs.
Okay, pay attention, because the absolute most crucial multiplier here is just one single number, 6. 6 months. That is the total duration of our construction project. It's literally the most important number for all your labor math, and honestly, forgetting it is one of the biggest traps you can fall into. You aren't just paying your crew for 1 month, you're paying them for an entire half year.
So, here is your official labor formula. To calculate the cost for a group of workers, you follow these steps. Step 1, take the number of workers in that specific category. Step 2, multiply that by their monthly salary rate. And finally, Step 3, multiply that result by the number of months, which again is 6. So it's number of workers times monthly rate times 6.
You've got to apply that exact formula to every single workforce category in your PAT memo. Let's break it down. You have one project manager making R30,000 a month. So that's 1 times R30,000 times 6 months. Then you've got 2 engineers, each pulling in R30,000. So 2 times R30,000 times 6 months. You'll do the exact same thing for your 4 artisans at R25,000 each times 6, your 4 semi-skilled workers at R20,000 each times 6, and lastly, your 12 unskilled workers at R12,000 each, all multiplied by that critical 6-month time frame.
You guessed it, STEAM cadets. Pause mission activated. Pause the explainer right here. Take that labor formula and calculate the full 6-month cost for all 5 of those worker categories separately. Once you've got those 5 separate totals, add them all up. That big final number is your labor subtotal. Go ahead and do the math.
Fantastic problem-solving team. Now it's time to bring all this data together for Phase 4 final totals.
All right, let's clear up a massive trap that catches so many student engineers. Please, do not mix up a subtotal with your grand total project cost. A subtotal is literally just the cost of one single category, like just the steel, or just the lifts, or just the labor. But your total project cost, that is the grand finale. You have to add subtotal 1 plus subtotal 2 plus subtotal 3 to get the final tender price you're going to present to Platinum Stars.
Before we wrap this up, we need to run through some quick safety checks in Phase 5, Mission Debrief.
Listen up and avoid these trapdoors, guys. Red alert. Some super common mistakes include just writing down the price per meter of steel instead of actually multiplying it by your quantity. Or, like we mentioned, forgetting the 6-month project duration and only calculating a single month's salary. Also, whatever you do, don't invent your own prices from the internet. Use exactly what's printed in the PAT. And honestly, the most fatal error, blindly copying an example quantity from class that has nothing to do with your personal 2D design. Your math has to match your blueprint.
If you can dodge those traps, you are totally ready for the final inspection. This budget section is worth 4 marks, and here's how you secure them. First, make sure you have good, solid estimates of material quantities based on your drawing. Second, ensure your labor calculations perfectly factor in the workers, their rates, and that 6-month timeline. Third, your item cost calculations need to be absolutely flawless. And fourth, make sure you've correctly added everything into accurate subtotals and one giant total project cost. Oh, and show every single step of your math.
And just like that, you've completed the real budget parameters of your Grade 8 technology PAT. But hey, our engineering journey is far from over. Think, analyze, design, solve. Every lesson is a mission. Every learner is a STEAM cadet. And STEAM is a way of life. Next time, we're activating Mission 006, where we're going to take your ideas and transform them into proper 2D blueprints using rulers, dimensions, and triangulation. Let's see how your design holds up on paper. I will see you in the next mission briefing. Mission complete.